Welcome to Marriage Monday with Jeremiah and Savannah Jennings. The Jennings own Growing Green Landscapes and are very happily married. In this podcast, Jeremiah and Savannah discuss the wins, losses, good times, bad times, and everything in between pertaining to owning a business while maintaining a healthy marriage along the way. We hope you enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to us today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am super excited to come to you today with another fresh new episode for you. And this is going to be another Marriage Monday. Thanks for tuning in, and let's hop into the jungle. It is episode, got to be high 80s, low 90s. I can never remember. It's kind of a running joke by now, but got to be in the low 90s for Marriage Monday episodes, which is awesome. That means we're coming up on 2 years of shows, which is so cool. It's crazy to believe that it's been that long, but I know that we've put a lot of time, effort, energy into these shows, and I hope that it pays off for you. I hope that there is some real benefit in these Marriage Mondays where Savannah and I usually come on and talk about all kinds of things, whether it be marriage related, business related. It could just be life, just talking about raising Jack, raising a son, having a first kid. We went through that. We kind of went through being pregnant. We went through the birth, all of that with you guys. And so I hope that is of some enjoyment, entertainment to you, and adds some value to you as you listen in every day or every week while you're out there on the mowers or whatever you're doing in your business. Then hope it adds some value. And I just want to say thank you for coming in and just hanging out with us here on the show. I never want to take that for granted. I try to always say thank you on the shows because it's genuine. It's genuine. You might not listen to the last show. You might not listen to the last 5 shows, but this could be the one you choose to listen to. And I want you to know that I am very appreciative for you checking in. So this is actually a solo Marriage Monday. Savannah's actually out of town. So she went out of town on a little girls trip, and she will not be back in time to record a show for this. So we didn't want to do it over Zoom, did not want to do a virtual one. She's not in a position to be able to do that. She's in a house with 8 other girls on a bachelorette trip. So that would not be a very, there's probably not one quiet spot in that whole house to be able to record a show. So that is not happening this week. But this is going to be a solo show talking about some of the advantages of owning a business together. And I'm going to kind of tell it from my side, and Savannah would probably agree with me on most of these. There might be some that she would have a different opinion on a little bit, but I know that for the most part, she would agree with most of the things that we're going to go over today and talk about. But I just want to really talk about how important that it is to be on the same page when you are running a business together. So I want to go back to really square one. If you are the husband or you're the guy that's starting a lawn care company and you've started, and I'm really going to talk to the guys this episode a lot, I believe. It is, if you're in a point where you're starting out and you're getting serious about someone, and you're not married yet and you're going to be, or maybe you already are married, but it's your side gig and you've been just trying to do it part-time, but now you want to go full-time and really make this the main provider for your family, then there's a lot that has to go into it. And you have to make sure that you and your spouse are on the same page. And I say that, when I say on the same page, I mean you're in agreement to make the jump. There's going to be things you agree and disagree on. There's going to be things that you're not going to see eye to eye on, and that's okay. If you both saw eye to eye on everything, then that's not good, because if you both see eye to eye on something that's bad, then you're just going to run yourself into the ground there. So it's good to have different opinions, different philosophies, different viewpoints. Savannah and I see things very differently on a lot of different things, which leads to, one, it leads to some arguments, but 2, it leads to a lot of good conversation and figuring out how to solve a solution that is actually the best for us and our family moving forward. And so if you're in these beginning stages and you're like, how do I get my wife on board? How do I do this? How do I even get a wife while I'm owning a lawn care company? Like, how do I convince her that I can do this? Then you have to prove yourself. You have to prove that you have what it takes to run your company and not run it into the ground. And with that being said, that's not easy. It's not easy, especially in the beginning years. You have to put a lot of work in. I shared a thing on Instagram the other day, and it was 3 ways to make more money in 2024. And the first 2 were, I think, put key people in place and sell work. But then the last one was, don't be afraid to work. And that's what you're going to have to do. Your first couple years, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to really work hard. And your spouse is going to realize that, or your potential spouse is going to realize that. They're going to realize how much effort you're putting in and how much you care about it. You have to have passion. But at the same time, you have to show your spouse that you actually care about them as well, or your potential spouse, that you do value them, you value their opinion. And I would say if I could go back and do anything differently, I would bring Savannah's opinion into the game earlier on in business. Savannah didn't do much in the business up until the last really 6 months to a year. It's pretty much just been all in my head, all my doing for the most part. And I would probably change that if I could now. I would go back and say, hey, let's build this thing a little bit more together. So now, because now everything we've done has been fine, but now we just have a little bit more of a challenge moving forward of like, and it's not a challenge, it's just we have to navigate these waters where we're trying to get each other on the same page. I'm trying to get things out of my head onto paper or into a file that she understands how to operate and do things with. And so that's part of the process. It's part of the journey. And so it's totally good. Like if you've done it for 5 or 10 years and it's just been you, it's definitely doable. We're trying to share that as we go. We're in that stage right now. If you go back and listen to the last 3 to 4 months of Marriage Mondays, you're going to hear a lot of it, of us walking and talking through these things, of bringing her into the business, talking about how we can do things more efficiently and effectively together and how to keep our family as a top priority. But business is family, family is business. When you're a small business owner, especially when you're in your beginning years, it is. And so when I say you have to find a spouse that's on the same page, you have to find a spouse that has a common purpose and a common vision that you do. And that is something that you really need to talk about early on if you can. Jeff Joyner talked about this at Together in the Trades, having a common purpose in 2022, I believe, in Nashville. And that's really stuck with me. It's carried over into a lot of our conversations. Is do we both know where we're going? Do we both know what we're doing? And not only do we both know where we're going, are we both aligned with where we want to go? You can both know where you want to go individually, but are you going to the same place? And if one of you's going east and the other one's going west, guess what? You're never going to meet. And so you got to realize that you both need to be going in the same direction, and you both need to have the same end goal in mind. And if you are different when you start, you compromise. You come to agreements of how you can both win and both succeed and both put your family first. And through this whole process, you also have to remember to put your spouse's needs before your own. You have to be very, very giving. You have to make sure that they feel included as much as they want to feel included. If they want to know more into the business and they want to learn that stuff, then you need to make them feel like they can. And I don't think I did a bad job of that. I would love to hear Savannah's opinion on that. Of early on in business, I don't think I ever told her, I never told her no. I never told her she couldn't know, but I never made a point to try to get her to learn. And she may have looked at it from the point of like, well, he doesn't make an effort. He doesn't really want me to know, so I'm not going to try. And so that could be it. I don't know. Actually, that's a good conversation we should probably have. But it's a thing of like, if your spouse wants to be involved, make sure you're including them as much as they would like. And even if they haven't said they do, offer it to them. Offer it, because they know that it's your baby. If you've been doing it for 2, 3, 4 years, they know that that's what you care about. They're not going to want to come in and step on you and take your reins and try to run your business, run your show. But they might be able to bring a lot of good things to the table. Savannah's a very smart person. Like, she excelled in school extremely well. She's a very confident nurse. She's a very good nurse. She's very skilled, and she's very, very good at what she does. She's a free thinker. She can think on her own. She can problem solve. She knows how to do that stuff. There's a lot of room for that in our company. There's a lot of, that's a huge asset to be able to bring onto the team. And with me, if I never offer and she doesn't know that I want her on board, then how are we ever going to get there? Because she just thinks that it's my baby and it's mine. I don't want to impose. I don't want to do that. And so it's something you have to consider there. There's a lot of different things. Like, it's not again, I say this all the time. It's not a one size fits all. It is you have to work through each of your situations individually and figure out what works for both of you. At the end of the day, you both know you're going to have to put a lot of work in. You need to have a common purpose. You need to be both going after the same things. And as you chase those, as you grow, this first year, 2, 3, there's going to be a lot of work. There's a lot of sweat equity. But then you both got to realize, hey, let's start transitioning myself out of the field, or let's put myself in a different role. Let's bring a team on board, and let's try to help get myself into a position where I can work on versus in the company. And when you do that, then you got to be very clear about your expectations. What roles are you going to change? What roles are you going to fill? What roles is your spouse going to fill? If you are just if you have been in the field the last 3 years and your wife's been doing all the office work, well, when you work yourself out of the field, what are you going to do? Are you going to come try to take over her roles and take her spot? Like, that's not going to work. She's not going to like that at all. And so you got to be clear about these things. Set expectations early on. Set expectations early on in business in general, if for no other purpose, just to know that you can have a clear line of communication. Because when you set clear expectations, your communication goes through the roof. It goes way, way up because you're not jumping down each other's throats because you both know what you expect of each other. And so if I know Savannah expects something of me and I don't do it, I'm going to be the first one to communicate that's not done and it's on me for doing it. But if she has an expectation that she has not told me about, then she's just going to get mad when I don't get it done, and I'm going to get defensive because I didn't know it was supposed to be done, or I didn't know she wanted it done. And so that is like the number one thing that I could say is have clear expectations when you go into business together. When you go into marriage together, when you go into parenthood together, set expectations. The whole first year, I think, of Marriage Mondays, we talked about communication in business and in marriage more than any other topic. And it comes back to expectations, setting clear expectations. If you're not doing that, you're going to sit there, you're going to argue, you're going to fuss, you're going to complain, and it's going to send you both in a downward spiral. I would be lying if I said me and Savannah had not been in those situations before. We had not been where we had just not had a good day or two or three because we just both got at each other's throats. We had expectations that we didn't make clear to each other. And that's something that we've really tried to focus on and learn to do better over the last couple months and the last year in particular is like set expectations. And when expectations are met, praise the person for meeting them. Say thank you. Make sure that they're being acknowledged for that. And when they're not met, have the conversation of why they didn't get met, but don't jump down the other one's throat when something doesn't happen. Ask why it didn't get done. Ask what happened. There's probably a good reason. If you're both in a good working relationship, you have clear expectations, you have a good line of communication, and something doesn't get met, there's probably a reason for it. And so don't go jumping down the other one's throat because something did not get done. And so just try to remember that when you go into business and in marriage together. It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely a process that can be worked through. And as you work through it, try not to be alone. Try to set yourself around other couples and individuals that are kind of doing the same thing as you. It's been a huge thing for me and Savannah to get some close friends that are going the same directions that we're going to bigger, better places that are wiser than us, that are a little further along in life and in business than us, because we're able to just learn so much knowledge from them, and they help us so much, just being able to sit there and bounce ideas off of them, hear their conversations. Like, I never want to be the smartest person in the room. I really don't even want me and Savannah to be the oldest marriage in the room, if I'm being totally honest. Like, I do want to get to a point where we can definitely mentor other people and help other people in marriage. That's something that we try to do on the show, but like I've said from day one, we are brand new to this. We learned from a lot of you guys on these interviews that we do. Like, you guys have been married that have been married for 10, 15, 20 years. Like, that's so inspiring to me and her, and it helps build our future knowing that that's possible. So we learn a lot from you guys, and I do want to get to that point where we can give to couples that are younger than us. And when we've been married 7, 8, 10 years, then we can get back to those. We can give to those first 1, 2, 3 year married couples. And so as we make this journey, I'm trying to just get around people who, like I said, have been married longer, who have been in business longer, who have are wise beyond their years, and have been just done this whole thing of life and business longer than we have. And so as we do it, it's a journey, it's a process, and we learn a lot along the way. Even when we try to give to people that are younger than us, like, there's not that many of them at this point, if I'm being totally honest. There are not many people that I've surrounded myself with close to my inner, like, we have like in our inner circle or whatever. You know, we make a joke about that, but about Savannah having a tight inner circle. But that is true. Like, you want people in your inner circle that are going to help uplift you and are going to make you better. And that's not to say that I don't want to hang around younger people. If I find a younger couple or younger friend that is trying to go big, be better, learn, grow themselves, grow their lives, grow their business, grow their family, grow their marriage, they're not being stagnant, they're not staying in the same place, then I will 100% welcome you in and try to give anything that we can to you. But I also want to learn from you, and I want to take that. Like, the age isn't the factor. The length is not the factor. It's the want to be better. And when I say it's not a factor, it is a factor a little bit. Like, I want, it is what it is. You are going to learn more from people who've been married the time, just the 5, 10, 15 years than you are from somebody who's been married 1 or 2. And it's like, they just have time. My parents always told me raising up, like, you won't understand this now, but we're just wiser. We just know. And looking back on it now, they just knew. And I just know, like, now I'm sitting at 24, or am I 23 or 24? I'm 20. Yeah, I'm 24. Well, that's wild. I've not even thought about that yet. I turned 24 in November. But I'm 24, and I look back on guys and friends that I've coached in high school and things that are 16, 17, 18, coach basketball. I'm like, guys, like, you don't understand it now, but when you get here, you're gonna understand it. I just know that it's better. I've been through it, and so that's something you got to take into consideration when you do this stuff. It's like, time is a factor. It's not the only factor. There is some truth to it. There is benefit to it. But just surround yourself with people who are trying to be better and trying to give to their community, their life, their friends, their peers. I don't like being around people that are just trying to take. It's very obvious, guys. Like, there's people out there, there's people that put themselves on the internet that it's so obvious they're just taking. They're just trying to leech. They're trying to feed off of other people. I don't like complainers. I don't want people that are going to post on Facebook and Instagram 24/7 about how they're having a tough day, or they feel bad, or they're sick, or they're hurting. Like, I just don't have a lot of room for that. I'm sorry. If that offends you, I'm sorry. You don't have to come back and listen if you don't want to. But I want to be around people who are learning and growing and getting better, not complaining about the state that they're in. If you're in the state, then figure out a way to change it. Get around, like, get in your inner circle, and if you're having problems, you address that with those people. That's what an inner circle is for. You have 3, 4, 5 people that you can go to and say, hey guys, I'm in a tough time. I need help getting out of this. Don't blast it for all your social media to see. That's not their problem. That's not my problem. Don't drag my social media down don't drag my feed down because you're going through something and you just want to drag other people down with you. I have all the sympathy, and I will help you in any way I can to get you out of a rut if you're in one. But address it with your inner circle, with your people that you know you can come to. Come to me, shoot me a message. I'll help you however I can. But don't sit there and try to ruin people's day because you're having a bad one. And that might offend you. If it does, I'm sorry. But actually, I'm not sorry. If it does, get over it. Move on. I don't have sympathy for that crap. And I hope that everyone listening to this show is of the same belief of, like, just make yourself better, guys. Like, and it's not just about making money. It's not just about self-development, self-help. It's like, how can we further the kingdom of God? Like that. I'm a open, well-known, like, not well-known, I'm an open Christian. I have a strong faith that I'm not here just to make money. I'm not here just to grow a business. I'm here to leave an eternal impact. If I'm not doing my job to share the gospel, that Jesus came and died for our sins and that we have a future after this, like, what am I doing? Because guess what? When the rapture happens and we come back and we leave this earth and there's people that are still here and they say, why didn't you tell me? I'm accountable for that. If I have a voice and a platform, then it's my job to share. And that is something that you have to make that own decision for you. But I'm going to share my story along the way, and you need to share your story as well. And be open to that. Be receptive. And that's just, it's not just about making money. I feel like it's easy to get caught up in that. That's something that me and Savannah have had to have many conversations about, of like, we want to grow. We want to be better. We want to better ourselves. We say this stuff all the time. I want to go. I want to be bigger. I want to be better. But it's not just about money. It's not just about material things. In growing, having a bigger financial wealth or status or whatever you want to call it, you can do bigger things. You can give more. You can go more. You can do more. Having more money is only going to show more of the person you actually are at heart. And so if you're not doing these things now, when you don't have money, when I'm small and don't have an audience or don't have support or don't have money coming in, like, if I'm not doing these things now, then what am I going to do if we do grow and we do get big? Like, how's that going to change? And so more money just shows more of who you actually are done in your heart. And so whatever you're doing, growing your business, growing social media, growing your local network, just make sure you're doing it with a purpose in mind, and it's not just to go make more money. Make sure that you're trying to further your purpose here on earth. And whether you're a person of faith or not, I don't know. But you make that decision for yourself, and I'm telling you, that's why we're here. That's why we're here, and we want to help with that any way that we can. That is the most important thing that we can do. Your business can fail. You can have no money. If you know you have eternity in heaven because you believe, then that is all that matters. That will make you eternally happy. And I know many ministers and pastors and people who don't have a big financial status, but guess what? They're the happiest people on the earth because they know where they're going. They know they're leaving an impact, and they know that they're doing what they're commissioned for from the Lord. And so that's my little soapbox there of just I don't like people being down on themselves and saying I can't do it and I can't get out of this. You can get people that can help you. If you need help, get the help. Surround yourself with people, and I believe you can go anywhere and do anything that you set your mind to. We did 75 Hard in the summer. You've heard that program. If you complete that program, it shows you that you can do anything you set your mind to. That is a very strenuous program. It makes you change your habits. It makes you do things. It makes you set priorities. That's what it does. It sets priorities. And when you set your mind that it's a priority for you to eat on a diet, or you to do 2 workouts a day, or you to drink a gallon of water a day, like when that's your priority, you set your mind to it, you can do it. And I believe that moving forward, me and Savannah are going to have some big goals for ourselves personally, for our business, and we're going to have to do a lot of things. We're going to have to set our mind to a lot of things, and we're going to have to really persevere and push through a lot of things. And we hope to share and take you along with us on that journey. We got a lot coming ahead. We got a lot of things happening down the road between both businesses, trying to grow social side as well, doing some other things, and it's fun. It's the journey. It's the life we chose. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it with a good heart. We're going to try to make sure that our marriage stays healthy and we put each other first. And so kind of circling back to where we were in the beginning, putting each other first, that's one of the big ones. If you don't put each other first and you start focusing on yourself, you're both going to get in a downward spiral, and then you're going to get in big time trouble. And you don't want that. You want to be able to give as much as you can to your spouse, because when you give, in turn, most of the time the other one gives back, and then you just have a very, very well operating relationship. So that's kind of my solo show for today. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing in depth, but I just want to say, it's possible to have a really good marriage and have a really good relationship and own a business at the same time. Really talking to the guys a lot today, how important it is just to put your spouse first, make sure that they feel loved, they feel wanted, they feel appreciated. Especially those days when you're out working late, make sure that you still make sure that your spouse, even though you're tired and you're dragging, make sure you say thank you to your spouse for cleaning the house or cooking dinner or going out and providing their career. If they're working out in the field, doing their own thing, then make sure you appreciate them and say thank you to them. So, guys, if we can ever help you, 100% reach out. I will gladly help however I can. I believe we've been called, and we have a mission to help people, and that is what I want to do, is just help as much as I can. So if there's anything we can do, shoot me a message, shoot me an email. I'll definitely get back to you, and I want to help however I can. So that's going to be the show for today as far as the actual content goes, but we got a few things here at the end I want to make you aware of. We got the LCR Summit. If you can drive, that is this week. That is 3-4 days from now on Friday and Saturday, the 19th and the 20th of January. It is in Atlanta, Georgia, Creators Clubhouse. Go to lcrsummit.com. You can still get tickets if you want to drive over. I would highly recommend it if you're trying to grow your social side for your business, or maybe just you're trying to grow a social media business as well. You can do both of those, and you can really grow your business that way. And you also have the Lawn Care Live coming up in February. It's the 23rd and the 24th, I believe, and that's going to be right here at home. I'll be there on a panel with John Pajak and the Almonds, I believe, just talking about some financial stuff. But then there's going to be a lot of other great guest speakers come in and talk over those 2 days. You're going to be fed very well. There's going to be a lot of sponsors that'll be there to show off equipment, which is going to be awesome. So Excited to be there for that event. Go to lawncarelife.com and hit the event tab, and you can get your tickets to that as well. So if anybody's local that's listening, hit me up, and I'll tell you where it's at if you don't already know. And I would love to see some local guys there. That would be awesome. I know we got a couple guys driving in from Huntsville, right around the area, over from Georgia. So that'll be cool to meet up and network with a bunch of you guys, and it means the world. I like getting to meet people in person, especially when you say you listen to the show. It means a lot to us. So I super appreciate it. We're going to be just trying to rock and roll here through January and February. We'll start mowing off on March 1st again. It was just wild. We're already almost there. We're halfway through January tomorrow, or today, I think. What is that? Today's the 15th if you're listening to this live. So you are going to be, we're literally halfway through January. We are 6 weeks from mowing. Wild craziness, absolute craziness that we're already that close. We have a lot to do to get prepared, and so we're going to try to hopefully get some new mowers in here. Got to get some land cleared to be able to operate out of, hopefully. So a lot of stuff coming down the pipe this spring, which is going to be super, super fun, and we can't wait to take you along with us. It means the world that you tune in and listen, guys. It truly, truly does. We've started putting some shows on YouTube. I'm not going to commit to a strict schedule to that yet. I'm still working through how I want to upload it and what schedule I want to upload on, but this show will be out on YouTube if you want to go check that out. And we did an awesome one with Sam Gimbel. You can see the video version of that on YouTube as well. So video version of this, video version of Sam Gimbel are both over there, Growing Green Podcast on YouTube. And let me know if you like that. If you like seeing the video portion, then let me know. We'll try to get some more of those up there because I like the interaction, especially on guest interviews. I love seeing the passion that people speak with. And so you don't want to see my face for 45 minutes or 30 minutes, however long the show is. But I love getting to see guest interviews that are taken. They take over, they take the reins and run with it. And so that's really, really fun to see that video. So if you like it, like I said, Growing Green Podcast, like it, subscribe, shoot me a message, let me know that you like seeing the video side, and we'll try to keep that up. But a lot of good stuff coming down, like I said, in the spring. And check us out on Instagram, Growing Green Landscapes over there. And that's going to wrap this one up, guys. I appreciate it. Savannah will be back with us on next week's show, but for this week, that's going to wrap it up for me being solo. Hope you enjoy this Marriage Monday, and we'll catch up with you here on Wednesday for another show. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next one.